Hi, have you ever put off for tomorrow what you could do today? The problem with waiting until tomorrow to do anything is that when it finally arrives, it is called today. Today is yesterday's tomorrow, so the question is this: what did we do with this opportunity? All too often, we will waste tomorrow as we wasted yesterday, as we are wasting today. All that could have been accomplished can easily elude us despite our intentions until we inevitably discover that the things that might have slipped from our embrace one single unused day at a time. Each of us must pause frequently to remind ourselves that the clock is ticking. The same clock that began to tick from the moment we drew our first breath will also someday cease. Time is the great equalizer of all humankind. It has taken away the best and the worst of us without regard for either. Time offers opportunity, but demands a sense of urgency. When the game of life is finally over, there is no second chance to correct our errors. The clock that is ticking away the moments of our life does not care about winners and losers. It does not care about who succeeds or who fails. It does not care about excuses, fairness, or equality. The only essential issue is how we played the game. Regardless of a person's age, there is a sense of urgency that we should drive them into action now, this very moment. We should be constantly aware of the value of each and every moment of our lives, moments that seem so insignificant that their loss often goes unnoticed. We still have all the time we need. We still have lots of chances, lots of opportunities, lots of years to show what we can do. There will be a tomorrow, a next week, a next month, and a next year. But unless we develop a sense of urgency, those brief windows of time will be sadly wasted, as were the weeks and months and years before them. There isn't an endless supply of time. So, as you think of your dreams and goals of your future tomorrow, take those very important first steps to making them all come to life today. Hi, Vandana here, and I'm going to share 5 tips for using your time wisely. Number 1, run the day or it will run you. Part of the key to time management is just staying in charge. Here's what usually happens: we start something and we are in control, but as the day starts to unfold, we start losing it. It's like running a business. If you don't stay on top of things, the business will run you before long. You have to stop every once in a while and say, wait, who's in charge here? Here's a good phrase to remember: some will master and some will serve. That's the nature of life, and you have to make sure you become the master. You have to run the day. You have to stay in charge. You cannot let time run you. You have to run it. Now, let me tell you about myself. When I started work from home, it became very difficult to run it, and I didn't have a schedule. I used to merge everything together: the work at home, the work at office, and everything used to merge together. But then I found that if you could plan your slots of the day, plan the hours of the day, plan what you're doing when, it really helps you to stay committed to doing what you have decided, and you can actually master the time. Number 2, don't mistake movement for achievement. You probably know some people around you who are just plain busy being busy. You've got to be busy being productive. You cannot waste your time playing around or thinking that you're very busy, but actually the achievements end up being zero. And it happens to all of us at some time. We feel that we are busy and we are doing so many things in the day, but ultimately, when we get around to looking at it, we haven't really achieved much. So be sure that you're not just counting your movements, but also counting achievements in the day. Now, consider this: a man comes home at night and flops down on the couch. He says, I've been going, going, going. But the real question is, doing what? Some people are going, 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 but they're doing figure eights. They're not making much progress. Don't mistake movement for achievement. Evaluate the hours in your day and see if there's a lot of wasted time that you could manage better. When I was in a job and I was traveling, I used to feel very busy because 2 hours was spent just traveling to my work, And then 2 hours I used to travel back from my work. And all the time in the office also, I used to be busy, busy, busy. But end of the day, I was not achieving as much as I thought I could. Ultimately, I started scheduling my time and planning an activity for each part of the day. So every day it's good if we can make a list in the morning of the tasks we want to achieve in the day, and that way it can help out. And I actually use this. I plan for the next day the day before in the evening, and then in the morning you just keep putting clear tick marks on the work that you have finished, and that helps to achieve something every day. Number 3, concentrate on where you are. You've just got to zero in the job at hand. Don't start your business day until you get to the place of work, whether it is at your home, whether it is in some uh, co-working space, whether it's an office. You just don't start your business day in the shower. I used to do that earlier. Whenever I used to go to the gym in the morning, my day used to start right there in the gym. As I used to exercise, I used to plan what I would do in the office and what would I do. I used to keep thinking of the tasks at hand and not focus on what I was doing at that moment. So it's best to wait till you get to your office or to your workplace to start your work. Don't start your business day at the breakfast table, the shower, or the gym. It's not very productive. It's not good for the family, and it's really not very productive. So here's what you've got to do. On the way to work, concentrate on your driving. In the shower, concentrate on the shower. In the gym, concentrate on your exercise. At the breakfast table, focus on the family, focus on the breakfast. Wherever you are, be there. Don't be somewhere else. Give people the gift of attention. Concentrate on where you are. Number 4, learn to say no. It's easy in a society like ours to just say yes too much, to over obligate yourself. Then it takes all that time to back out of it. Don't say yes too quickly. It's better to say, I don't know if I can make it, but I'll give you a call. It's nicer to say that than to back out later. Being too eager to please can be dangerous. You need to appreciate yourself, your time, your limits. Know when your commitment to someone else will end up taking time away from yourself and your family. Appreciate your special time alone. Don't be always available for everybody. It'll actually harm you in the long run, and you will end up doing things which you never really wanted to, and your tasks will remain incomplete. Appreciate your time with those you love and those who love you. And this does not mean that you should not help others or not do anything for others, but be wary of your time commitments, and do things which you can easily do, and which do not interfere too much with yourself, your family, because in the long run, your business, your family, everybody will suffer. Don't overcommit yourself. Sometimes you can't immediately say yes to offers that sound prestigious. You can't immediately say yes to social functions, even if they sound a lot of fun. You've got to say maybe and take time to make a decision. You've got to say maybe and take time to evaluate what's truly important to you and what will just take time away from your ambitions and your family. Be eager to please yourself and your family. Don't be so eager to please everyone else. Appreciate your own limits. You don't have to fill up every second of the day. Take time to appreciate what you've accomplished. Take time to enjoy the fruits of your labor. Number 5, appreciate the little details. Your success should be a pleasure. Appreciating what you've acquired and what you've done and who you've become is important. It's an important component of fueling your future achievements, just knowing that you finished all that you started out to do that day. That's encouraging. It's these little daily gains that continue to fuel your achievement. Let's say you're figuring out tomorrow's game plan tonight and tomorrow looks pretty light. So all you write down for tomorrow is cleanup day. Clean up all the little notes on your desk. Write all the thank you notes you haven't gotten round to writing all week. Take care of a few phone calls that keep getting shuffled from one day to the next. It's just minor stuff. Nonetheless, it's the little stuff that keeps weighing you down until you get it done. So you spend your day in cleanup mode. You file the notes, write the thank you cards, make the phone calls. It's not a major day, but at the end of the day, you feel you've accomplished so much. Why? Because you've taken care of so many details. It's the little details that can make a major difference. You feel like you've really achieved something during a day that started out to be so minor. Little achievements are just as important as big achievements. Success is the constant process of working towards your goals, little achievement by little achievement. Little achievements produce big results. Anything is possible in those 24 hours we've given each day. So just manage your time properly. Vandana Nanda signing off. Have a nice day. Bye bye.